Bullies slap teacher, shocked when she reveals her secret martial arts skills. Rain trickled down the tall glass windows of Rosefield High, blurring the chaos inside like a fogged memory. It was the first week of the new semester, and everyone was still adjusting, except the bullies. They thrived in disorder. They ruled the hallways with smirks and shoves. And today, they had a new target. Miss Elena Rivers, 27, was the newly appointed English teacher. Petite, soft-spoken, always in modest, neat clothing, and eyes that carried both warmth and quiet sorrow. Students whispered she transferred from a strict private school after something happened, but no one knew what. She never raised her voice. Never scolded. Always calm, almost too calm. And that irritated some students. Specifically, them. Brent, Marcus, and Deshaun, 3 seniors with egos larger than their grades. Football stars, used to dominance, allergic to discipline. They'd broken every substitute before her. And when Elena replaced their favorite pushover, they laughed behind her back and plotted. It started small. A paper plane in class. Then gum on her chair. Then fake emergency bathroom breaks, only to return laughing loudly, disturbing the lesson. But Elena? She never flinched. Instead, she smiled gently and said, "Let's continue." And that made Brent furious. "She thinks she's untouchable," he hissed one day, slamming his locker. "Let's see how she handles real heat." Friday afternoon. The last class. The energy in the room was tense. Elena was reciting a poem, Maya Angelou's Still I Rise, when Brent threw a crumpled note at her desk. She paused. Picked it up. Read it silently. Then softly, she turned her gaze to him. Calm. Unshaken. "Would you like to share your thoughts with the class, Brent?" she asked. He stood, mockingly. "Sure. I think this poem is trash. Just like your class." A few students gasped. She smiled faintly. "Well," she replied, "perhaps we can learn from the strength behind those words." Rising even when pushed down. Brent took a step forward. "You think you're better than us?" "No. I think you're better than this behavior." His hand shot out. Slap. The classroom went dead silent. Her cheek turned red. She touched it gently, then slowly turned her face back to him. That's when it happened. She didn't scream. Didn't cry. But the shift in her stance was undeniable. Her body straightened, feet positioned firmly, eyes now steely and locked onto Brent's. "Enough," she said, low, strong, commanding. Brent lunged again, laughing. But the laugh stopped mid-motion. In one blink, Elena sidestepped, grabbed his wrist, twisted it gently, and sent him face-first to the floor with a move so smooth, so precise, it looked like a movie scene. The class gasped. Even the usually cocky Marcus stepped back. Brent moaned, shocked. "What the hell?" "I didn't want this," she said softly. "But I won't let you hurt me or anyone else again." Marcus growled and rushed her. "Bad idea." A sweep of her leg sent him crashing into a desk. Deshaun paused. His voice cracked. "She's a ninja?" Elena exhaled and looked at the class. "I didn't come here to fight. But I will always stand up against violence. I was trained in martial arts since I was 10. I competed nationally. I stopped after my brother died in a gang fight. I thought peace could win over violence. But sometimes, peace must defend itself." Principal Harris, who had been alerted by a student's silent emergency text, rushed in moments later. What he saw left him speechless, 2 bullies groaning on the floor and 1 teacher standing tall, breathing slowly, calm as ever. The incident went viral. Students posted clips. Headlines called her the sensei teacher. But Elena never bragged. She never even mentioned it again. What changed was the respect. Not just from her students, but from the entire school. Even Brent apologized, genuinely ashamed. The boys were suspended and enrolled in behavioral programs. But Elena didn't stop there. She started a self-defense club after school for girls and boys. She taught confidence, awareness, respect. Every Friday, the same classroom that once echoed with taunts now filled with discipline and laughter. Brent and Deshawn eventually joined. Not out of fear, but admiration. One day, Brent stayed after practice. "Miss Rivers," he said, eyes lowered, "why didn't you just get me expelled?" "I slapped you." "You had every right." She looked at him and smiled. "Because you reminded me of my brother. Angry. Lost. But capable of change." His eyes watered. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I know," she said gently. "Now rise." And he did. Message: violence never wins, but strength comes in many forms. Sometimes, the quietest souls carry the loudest power, not to harm, but to heal. Respect others, speak up, and know when to stand firm. Because everyone has a story, and sometimes, the strongest warriors wear chalk dust and cardigans.